Judy Mowatt is one of the most charming figures in reggae music. She began as a young woman in the 60s with the Gaylettes, recorded under the name Julianne and, of course, her own name, when she was tapped in 1974 to become a member of the I3, the trio that followed Bob Marley all over the world to spread the message of Rastafari. And one of the most historic nights of their 7 years together was in Zimbabwe, on the independence celebrations on April 18th, 1980, when a riot broke out. And a year later, in August of 81, at Sunsplash in Montego Bay, which was honoring the life of Bob Marley, I had a chance to sit down with her and talk to her about what really took place on that opening night. I used to live on Valentine Street in Echo Park in Los Angeles, and on Valentine's Day, 1987, the Wailers came to visit. They were in L.A. airport with a 10-hour layover on their way back from New Zealand to Jamaica, and Junior Marvin called and said, "Can we come over?" And I said, "Who's we?" And he said, "The Wailers." The Wailers were all the major figures except one who toured with Bob in the late 70s. Seco Patterson, who brought Bob to his first audition at Cox and Dodd. Al Anderson, the lead guitarist, along with Junior Marvin. Wyalindo, the keyboardist. And, of course, the Barrett brothers, Family Man Barrett and his brother Carlton Barrett. This was the last filmed interview of Carlton's life. He was murdered 2 months later. And at the end of the interview, I asked each of the Wailers to tell me about their favorite tracks with Bob. And I think their answers may surprise you. This is a picture I took of Bob Marley when I was on tour with him for a couple of weeks in 1979. And a rug maker from Taiwan named Yu made a rug out of it. And it was also used in early 2007 for a show that I did in Guam, Life of Bob Marley video lecture that I've done in various parts of the world. This poster is from Israel in 2006, 6 shows in various parts of the country. And this shirt I'm wearing was given to me by a man who walked the length of Zanzibar in 1994, and on May 11th, the anniversary of Bob's passing, he came upon a remote mountain village. There were 200 people all wearing this shirt, and he said, "What does Kumbu Kumbu Ya Bob Marley mean?" And they tell him it means the second coming of Bob Marley. It has been said by many people that Bob Marley was a prophet, and in fact many of his prophecies came true. One of them concerned the cleanup woman, the great soul singer Betty Wright, who was a friend of his, and when he saw her many years ago in Miami, he said, "I know a man you have to meet, and you're going to marry him, and his name is King Sporty." He's the man who wrote Buffalo Soldier. Many years later, Betty Wright in fact did meet King Sporty, and she went on to marry him. I spoke with her at length in 1995 in Miami, particularly about the year she spent on the road as the opening act to Bob Marley on the Survival Tour in 1979. And she gave me one of the most emotional testimonies to the power, as she says, the awesome power of the king and prophet of reggae, Bob Marley.